Danny, you love Mortal Kombat, don't you?
I love it X amount of times.
So yeah, we just checked out Mortal Kombat X today, not 10, even though it is kind of Mortal Kombat 10 in a way.
It's Mortal Kombat 28 at this
stage. So they kind of announced this back at E3.
Yeah.
We're starting to see more of it now. They announced some new characters. Why don't you let me know how you feel about it? Because you got more hands-on time with it.
I did. I got to play it. They showed us a little demo, which showed off, I guess, some of the new mechanic-y stuff where there's variations on combat. So now before you go in, you can basically choose from 3 different variations. The base moves are there for your character, but you are basically focusing.
You're talking about on like a per character basis.
Yes. So Scorpion can either be Fire Scorpion or Teleporty Scorpion or you know.
You had like a voodoo Scorpion, right, where you could like summon that demon.
Yes.
And yeah.
And there's none where we just use knives and stuff. So you know, adds a little bit of variation, I guess there. But yeah, when I was playing it, you were saying it looked smoother. Definitely felt smoother. Mortal Kombat, as opposed to Street Fighter, has always felt very much like, I don't know,
like start, stop, or just really staccato. That kind of
exactly. That is the move. Whereas there's a bit more flow to it. In saying that, Scorpion and Sub-Zero felt like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but I really enjoyed it. Like I don't know what it is about Mortal Kombat where whenever they make a new one, for some reason I don't think it's samey trite nonsense, but I actually, I was into this.
Talking about flow, they also added a lot of things. I mean, they kind of had this in Injustice as well, where you could interact with your environment, but rather than just sort of throw the enemy into something or throw the environment at them, you can now sort of use things to, say, jump over the head of someone and get behind them. Like I think we saw Sub-Zero like swing on a tree branch and get behind him. But well, I know one thing about Sub-Zero that you really loved.
You can throw your ice clone.
You can throw your ice clone now.
Ice clone, pick up your ice clone, throw your ice clone, which is just a really roundabout way of just doing the ice thing when you think about it.
But it adds some more character, I think.
What I liked about it as well, there seemed to be much more of a degree of like pacing involved in your attacks. Yeah. So like with the ice clone, it's like you do the ice clone, but maybe he's going to throw it at me. When I was playing some of the larger characters in it, their like standard Mortal Kombat duck and triangle uppercuts were like easily 50% longer.
Okay.
So the movement of the characters as well is different based on their size and scale, and I found that really entertaining because, for instance, one of the things about Mortal Kombat is the minute you know somebody's jumping, you're ducking and doing that, and they figure it out. Whereas in this one, you could kind of like dupe people into thinking you couldn't do it, and then load it up and then hit them.
Yeah, see, I'm a Street Fighter guy. Like I played Mortal Kombat a lot when I was a kid, but I sort of like Street Fighter for me has evolved quite a lot. This is the first time where I feel like I'm actually interested in Mortal Kombat as a fighting game versus just sort of, you know, the Mortal Kombat experience of this dark world with these characters that do horrible things to one another. And speaking of that, though, some of the fatalities we saw were really
great.
gruesome.
And some new characters, so new fatalities totally as well. There's some lady who's made of like some sort of bees or something. There's this big Oprah. That's going in the edit. There's this big hulking dude who's got this kind of little girl on his back, and he basically like held onto poor Johnny Cage and what's her face?
So
What's her name?
Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade's daughter. I think it was Cassie Blade.
Cassie Blade.
Cassie Cage.
Cassie Cage. She basically looks like, exactly as they just molded as characters.
Yeah.
He held onto her, and then the little one like stuck her knives in it and then jumped over her head and bisected her while he pulled her apart. It's fucking disgusting.
I don't want to say that's Mortal Kombat in a nutshell.
That's Mortal Kombat in a nutshell.
That's Mortal Kombat in a nutshell.
I like this.
But it looks more fun than ever, at least for me, someone who doesn't usually play Mortal Kombat. All right, thanks, Danny.
No problem.
Yeah.
For continuing coverage of Mortal Kombat X and Gamescom 2010. For continuing coverage of Mortal Kombat X and Gamescom 2015. For continuing coverage of Mortal Kombat X and Gamescom 2014, stay tuned to GameSpot.com.
Kano wins.